why would you do a springing durable power of attorney? And what is meant by springing? When you sign your durable power of attorney, it either will be effective upon your signature, which means it's effective immediately, or you can choose to say, even though I've signed the durable power of attorney, I don't want it to be effective now. I want the authority I've granted under this durable power of attorney to only come into effect if I lose capacity, if I am unable to manage my own affairs. As an elder law attorney, we recommend that your power of attorney be effective immediately and not be springing or only effective upon your incapacity. Now, why is that? The reason is that sometimes, more often than not, it is difficult to get the physician to sign off on that incapacity statement to say that the person who signed the power of attorney now is incapacitated. It's easier to get that sign off by the doctor if the person is completely incapacitated. But if you're familiar at all with cognitive decline, it's not always a steep decline. You have capacity and now you don't. Sometimes that happens. That can happen with a stroke, for example. But with a lot of forms of dementia, it's this gradual decline. And so sometimes the person is completely with it and capable of communicating, and there's no signs of any cognitive decline. Other times there is quite evident signs of cognitive decline, and it depends on the time of day, it depends on the day of the week, it depends on a lot of things. So if you have this springing power of attorney that only comes into effect upon incapacity, there could be this gray period of time when you really need help, but you're not going to get the help because your power of attorney is ineffective because the doctor hasn't signed off on it, because when you saw the doctor you looked really good, and then when you left the office you weren't so good. Definitely we recommend that your durable power of attorney be effective immediately upon your signature, and there doesn't need to be some later event that is the doctor or doctors signing off on your incapacity. Now, why would somebody say, I don't want my durable power to be effective immediately? I only want it to be effective when the doctor says I've lost the ability to manage my own affairs. Commonly people say, well, I want to stay in charge of my affairs while I am capable. So why would I not make it springing? Why would I want to have it effective immediately? Which leads to my question, well, do you trust the person that you've designated to be your decision maker if you can't? Do you trust that person, who we call them the attorney in fact, or you call them POA? Do you trust them that they will do right by you? Well, of course I do. That's why I'm naming them under my power of attorney. So then why don't you trust them to not act until they need to act? Basically have a conversation with them to say, you are my power of attorney. I have designated you to handle my financial affairs if I can't. Of course, I'm perfectly capable now, so I just want to give you that notice that you are my power of attorney, and here's a copy of the document, in fact, and that's so you can step in when you need to. Obviously, if you don't need to, please don't step in. If you don't have the trust in that person that they won't step in until they need to, you've named the wrong person. Do not designate somebody who you are concerned about will start managing your financial affairs now while you are perfectly capable. That's the wrong person. And if you don't have anybody who is a family member or friend or anybody that you feel confident about, there are professional fiduciaries who will serve in the capacity of being an attorney, in fact, under your durable power of attorney. That might be a good option. People are resistant to doing that because, yes, they will have to be paid. But remember, they're not going to step in, even if it's effective immediately, until they need to, and that's until the time that you've lost capacity. So naming a professional fiduciary can be a really good option. So to sum it up, powers of attorney, do not have them be springing. Make sure that they're effective upon your signature.